Hey everybody, have you heard about the Drunken Peasants Patreon? It helps support the show while getting you some cool perks. Check it out! For $1 per month, you get to use our exclusive fan chat that appears at the bottom of the screen on every episode. For $5 per month, you get 2 new private shows, including Actual Mania, as well as our back catalog of private shows, plus all lower tier perks. For $10 per month, you get all of our monthly video content. This includes multiple post shows, our monthly reviews, our back catalog of all that content, plus all lower tier perks. For $15 per month, your name will appear in the ending credits of each DP episode, plus all lower tier perks. For $25 per month, you get to take part in our monthly booking committee hangout to help us book our Patreon content for that month, plus all lower tier perks. For $33 per month, you get an exclusive piece of DP merch each month, plus all lower tier perks. For $50 per month, you appear in the opening credits for each DP episode, plus all lower tier perks. For $100 per month, you get to join us as a guest on an episode of the Drunken Peasants podcast. Plus, you guessed it, all lower tier perks. Visit patreon.com/DP now to become a patron of the Drunken Peasants podcast.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants podcast.
I gotta get a witness. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true. Sometimes I cry.
Oh!
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants podcast. This is episode 1298.
Do it live!
We're back again. It's another wonderful Thursday show, 1298, doing it live. Welcome, everyone. Please like the stream. Please don't forget about our pre-show. It's some extra content that you can get for free on all of the audio podcast platforms. We record one before every episode, so you want to check that out, and you want to go and subscribe on those audio podcast platforms so that you don't miss an episode. You go back and listen to all of them. Go back and listen. And we got
back in time.
We got a new patron. Tomorrow's Actual Mania Regal Tussle. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's shaping up to be worth more than $5.
It is. It is because there's so many competitors. It's going to be insane. And I've seen a lot of the video submissions, and there's some surprises, people you might not expect to be part of it. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
To say
I
the
heard
least.
that somebody's mom is a surprise entrant.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's just what I heard, though.
Oh.
There's no confirmation.
No confirmation. We are going to check out what's going on.
The Mad Clown says I'm doing the worst Actual Mania video. Again?
Again. Yeah, it's gonna be a great one. And the winner will take on Drake Dragsaw next month. So we're gonna check out King Cobra and his burger and all that fun stuff. Let's check that out now.
Somewhere in the world today, men have got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Amazing.
Stand up.
Stand up.
It's amazing. Stand up.
Stand up.
All right. I remember when he got the Wendy's a few days ago. So he's also going to try out his mead, his latest mead concoction.
Is it Wendy's mead? Did he put a Frosty in it?
There is dairy in Frosty, so it wouldn't ferment properly.
11:30 a.m.
KingCobra back at it with another video. And I have a jar of my homemade mead.
It's always a very unappetizing color, in my opinion.
It looks like he put Frosty in it. Either that or it's chicken noodle soup mead.
Oh.
I'm brewing this on the 4th of this month.
Whoever thinks that's a coom jar, it would be less. It'd be less gross if it was a coom jar.
2024. It's now the 24th. So I think after 20 days, after brewing it on the 4th, it should be ready to go.
Bacon banana mead Frosty coming in nicely, tubes.
Pop the lid off.
Frosty. Oh yeah,
my god.
Definitely smells like.
Oh, look at that. There's like weird. Oh, it looks like puke.
Yeah,
it looks like
you
puke.
You can see the chicken and the noodles floating around in it.
Oh.
The pouring. Somebody needs to get him a pump. Every time he pours it, he spills it everywhere. It's so cute.
The apple silk.
The roll of a lifetime. Apple silk. I forgot that's what he's calling it. Apple silk.
That tastes just.
Can
like
you
the
put
last time
non-dairy, like almond milk? Can you put soy milk in it since it's non-dairy?
I have no idea.
I would love if he heard you couldn't put dairy in mead, so his brilliant mind was like, wait a second. No dairy, I'll do dairy-free milk.
This mead is vegan.
Let's go to bite. Woohoo! That's gonna burn like a motherfucker.
I swear I'm counting 6 toes right now.
One.
Do you
no, I think it's the light and the shadows make it look like he has an extra toe, but that is crazy.
This is really silky smooth. I like that. I'm not in a rush to finish this damn jar, but I want to try a glass of it on YouTube and see how it fermented.
Thank you for sharing with us, King.
Smells like alcohol. Definitely tastes like it. 1 second.
Ugh.
Is he savoring it in his mouth? Or is he scared to swallow it?
It's a fine Bordeaux.
Oh God. People are saying he's gonna spit it out.
Yeah. Look at him.
I'm just saying, his hair started
right
falling
here
off more when he started making mead. Especially
is that true?
Cheesy pudding meads.
The cheesy pudding mead is not good for your hair. Oh no.
That poor carpet.
That poor cobra. Oh God. Oh no.
But he won't admit that it's bad. That's the funny part.
He
will
doesn't
not
have to admit that it's bad, because every time he takes a swig of something, he's always like, "Oh yeah, that was great. That's the stuff." And if he's silent, silence is the admission. Oh God, yeah. He holds it up, smiling afterwards.
That's got a burn to it, YouTube.
No, that's the bile from your stomach coming back.
A few days shirtless, saying he was sick, feeling hot and sweating. Space Girl suspects that cat bite finger might be infected.
Yeah, you really shouldn't let cats out of cages. They could be in there due to like rabies. They could be in the cages for a reason.
It was like a live trap to catch some of the homeless cats. I guess there's like a homeless cat problem over there.
I wonder if Puff is just chilling in one of those trying to get home.
What, in one of the cats?
Yeah, in one of the cat traps.
Oh,
like he got caught.
I meant
Puff
the
got
actual
caught in a cat trap.
Who was that burn?
No, Puff's got a circle of protection around him. 11:45 p.m. Cobra returns looking like the crypt keeper himself. Oh no. Mike says if Cobra had rabies, he'd already be
I
dead.
feel like Cobra's final Bogle metamorphosis stage will be becoming Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
That would be a step up. Cobras, like a normal person would die if they had rabies, yes, but Cobra's not a normal person. His system is uniquely tailored to survive 4 days longer than a normal person.
Boy, King Cobra back at it with another video. And we got a prep.
King Cobra gives rabies.
Pretzel Baconator with the pretzel bun, American cheese slice, mayonnaise, American cheese slice 2, Asiago cheese 2, lettuce, tomatoes.
Say what you want about Cobra, but he would have the perfect goon cave if he just put all the wood chips in front of him where he pukes and comes. That'd be the perfect goon cave.
I said he should just cover his whole floor in it, and like he could live like a hamster.
Around the chair. At least around the chair.
Onions and pickles. The ultimate pretzel baconator. And here's the thing of it. I don't mind ketchup on my baconators. But when I ordered these 2 sandwiches, I said, just stick to the mayonnaise. And I'm not here to cause any drama. Pretzel bun, American cheese.
He's not here to cause any drama. But ketchup on your pretzel bun baconator is a no-no.
Is it a no-no?
He's not here to cause any drama.
Are you supposed to mainly
Ben.
just use mustard because that's what goes on a lot, like...
The Baconator comes with ketchup and mayonnaise.
Okay.
But Cobra says just leave the ketchup off. He's saying mayonnaise only.
Mayonnaise only. Huh.
Yeah, it's ketchup and mayonnaise on a Baconator.
Slice, mayonnaise, American cheese slice 2, Asiago cheese 2.
2?
Lettuce.
Does he mean double? But he just says 2?
Probably, yeah. I don't think he's saying as well, and they limit the additions to 2. You can go 0, 1, or 2 for most toppings at Wendy's. But bacon, I think you can go up to 5 times. It used to be that way, at least.
Tomatoes, onions, and pickles. Yeah.
Magicus says you don't put lettuce on an effing Baconator. Well, I got to tell you something, Magicus. Do you ever put bacon on a Dave's Double? Because if you put bacon on a Dave's Double, that's the same thing as putting lettuce on a Baconator.
There's tomato too, and pickles and
yeah.
Like on
you can put. I would always get Baconators, and I would deluxe them up with pickles.
I
tomato,
like veggies
onion,
on a
and
burger.
Lettuce. Yeah, the Baconator has more bacon, so you're getting actually a deal rather than adding bacon to the Dave's Double.
Like 2 of these.
I was told recently by somebody that I need to go to therapy because I shop for deals. Do you think that's something you need to go to therapy for?
No, if they're there, why not take them? Why pay more money if you don't have to?
But then I thought maybe that's why I'm poor, because I shop for deals.
Why would
I'd be rich if I didn't? Because rich people don't care about deals.
You don't need to go to therapy for it. That's just that's just crazy. Yeah, I don't know.
I think I need to shop for abundance instead of deals now.
I had one to snack on.
Time is money, bro. Bustello knows.
Hungry.
Bustello has never once said anything ever in the history of commenting on Drunken Peasants that I've agreed with. This is the one time I'm agreeing with you, Bustello, and it's a troll comment.
I wasn't feeling it, so it is what it is. Oh, let's fucking unwrap the goods. This Baconator.
It's all mummified looking.
couple days old.
What's the pretzel bun, right? So the pretzeling on the pretzel bun already has like this mummified coating to it. It's different than a regular bun. Yeah.
But I don't care.
You know, I mean, the way a fast food burger gets when it's in the fridge for a couple days, assuming it was in the fridge.
Oh, is this? I thought this was the first one. This is not the 3-day-old one?
This is the 3-day-old one.
Oh. You know what, though? I used to get 99-cent Whoppers back in the day when Burger King still sold Whoppers for under $1. I'd get like 5 or 6 of them at a time. I'd chuck a couple in the fridge, and they were good, cold the next day, all congealed. Like you're eating a beef sickle.
When you use the word congealed, it's automatically ruining it.
Congealed. Look at that stack.
The pretzel baconator is the ultimate sandwich from Wendy's. The ultimate baconator.
The ultimate baconator.
The sounds.
For later. Oh, that's good. Baconator.
Cobra looks like he has been going through it.
He has been going through it.
Eating the ultimate baconator at Wendy's. But people are going to do it regardless. Because it doesn't matter what I do.
I'm actually quite happy that you're eating the ultimate baconator.
It doesn't matter what
Cobes.
the fuck I do, YouTube. People are always going to fucking hate my ass.
Pew.
Excuse me. I haven't been very hungry the last couple of days, but I ordered 2 of those sandwiches because I know they're going to be delicious. And when I ordered my baconators, I kept it mayonnaise only, which I don't mind ketchup. I really don't. Okay, those baconators are a couple of days old because I ordered 2 of them. And you all saw what they look like vaguely on camera. I already ate 1. And I was craving the meats and the bacons and the cheese.
I was craving the meat and the bacon and the cheese.
Was it bacons, though? He pluralized it. The meat and the bacons.
Which is meat also, but it's a specific
so I ordered it twice. I'm like, if I'm eating
ZX is suggesting he might have Wyoming cat plague.
Oh, shit. Is it cooties? Is it like getting cooties in Wyoming?
No, cooties is different.
Oh.
Cooties is just something that girls have because girls are icky. Wyoming cat plague is much worse.
G-Man is absolutely retarded.
My sorrows and another delicious baconator. And I would order it with extra bacon if the option was available, but I digress.
They didn't have the extra bacon option?
Cobra seal of approval because when you add the lettuce, tomatoes, bacon, onions, pickles, it's the best goddamn Wendy's burger I've ever tasted.
And he worked at Wendy's.
I digress.
He did. Approved.
Cobra approved.
If I'm up to it, I'll finish that burger. If I'm feeling
I wonder if he got his new phone.
Best, then I'll wait and hold off until my stomach settles and then I can eat the rest of it. I confess I find myself addicted to the Wendy's pretzel baconator.
There's some white stuff on the top of the bun. Maybe some mayonnaise got redistributed. He is feasting.
Yep.
It's a king's feast
Wendy's
right there.
does make a good burger.
I like it. I like how he positions his
I feel
hands.
like a lot of people are going to get angry at me for what I have to say and what I do on YouTube.
What are they mad about?
Not my problem. Because I fucking tell it like it is. But that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying?
He just tells it like it is, Ben.
He tells it like it is.
But you know what I'm saying? Like
Somebody
lettuce,
has to,
tomatoes, pickles, onions, extra cheese to it, with just mayonnaise. Oh, fuck you, Cobra, you piece of virtue signaling shit. And it's like, you want to call me a virtue signaling piece of shit, but people who usually get called virtue signaling or gaslighting tell it like it is.
All right. So there
Cobra
it
ain't
is.
no virtue signal.
You know,
Cobra
virtue
tells
signal?
it like it is.
He just tells it like it is. It's crazy that people say he virtue signals. What were they thinking?
I think they were thinking he doesn't tell it like it is.
We need to check this other thing out. Please like the stream, and if you want to help us get closer to our goal, link is pinned above the chat. We're going to check out something very strange that's going on.
I should turn off that goddamn internet.
Oh, don't touch me. Don't touch me. TP, are they going to touch me?
They're going to touch you.
All right. So I don't know who, but I know someone is buying Jared subs.
From Subway?
No, not that Jared.
So confusing.
Jared Genesis is like, all of a sudden he's over 1,000 subs when he could hardly get 400. All of a sudden, like over a few nights, he's over 1,000 now. Check this out.
What's going on, guys? 1,000 subs special. I'm sorry. I just got to give a very special thank you, bro, to the person who bought me all these subs, because obviously it's not me. Obviously I'm not that special. And, the stats don't match up, so I'm just going to be honest with you guys. For anyone wondering, some really rad person bought me some subs. I have some ideas on who it is.
I think it was Amos Yee.
Could be anybody.
I just want to say thank you, bro, and I know karma in all of its power will reward you for that. So
This isn't the first time this has happened. Someone else bought him subs like when he first came back a few years ago, because they want him to stream again and they want the chaos to happen just like last time.
At least he finally looks like a bug that he is.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
He's got
A lot
that
of people
bed
just want
bug
to see
look.
my trolls get wrecked because
I
they're a
want to
bunch.
apologize to KingCobra. I thought he was a gaslighting, virtue signaling piece of shit. But I have been informed that in actuality he just tells it like it is.
Yeah, you should have known that.
He tells it like
the
it
fucking
is.
Bitches. And speaking of bitches, bro, I just thought we'd do a little story time today, bro. I thought I'd just share a stupid story with you guys. It is not one of my proudest moments, I will tell you that much, bro. These fucking glasses, dude. These are really bothering me, but I gotta keep them on. Fuck it. So yeah, homie, let me just say I am not proud of this, and I do not condone violence. But holy fuck, bro. I don't know what happened, but one day, dude, I just lost my shit, and I totally I wrecked this kid, dude. I wrecked his fucking head on the handlebars of his bike, homie. This is actually kind of hot. It's actually hot today. It's weird, man. The fucking weather in Texas, but
Did he just say he like smashed a kid's head into some handlebars?
I think so. It was just like when he was a little kid, like.
Yeah, dude. I was hanging out with my friends, bro, and these little fucking like 7th graders or some shit. I think we were in 8th grade, you know. And when everyone's like younger than you, I guess they're little. You know what I'm saying? Back then. And now it's like you can't even recognize if someone, you know, is like 10 years younger than you. You know what I'm saying? Hold on.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't like his conversation about people younger than him ever. They never turn out well.
No.
But, old man fart right there, son. But yeah, bro, you know, they were just being little fucking bitches, dude. Like, straight up. I remember they had like the squirt gun too, and they were like squirting us and like talking all this mad like 7th grader shit. You know, what does 7th graders say? I don't know, like, you don't have pubes. I was watching a video, man, a fucking parody of like, you know, adults acting like.
What?
What do 7th graders say? You don't have pubes.
What?
This is not the conversation you need to be having with 7th graders, Jared.
7th graders. It's true, man. We were so cringe back then. But yeah, dude, you know, I just wasn't having it that day, bro. I guess my mom gave me too much like ADD medicine. And, bro, I'm telling you, dude, like I went up to this guy, and I'm not normally a violent person, but I took his head and I just whammed, son. Right in the handlebars of his bike, dude. He started crying like a bitch.
It's not violence if you're an 8th grader and they're a 7th grader. There's no such thing as violence when you're still in grade school. It's impossible. You can't do violence until you're an adult.
I would have cried like a bitch too if that happened to me. That was probably an appropriate response. But yeah, dude. Needless to say, those kids stopped the shit talking. But again, I don't condone.
Needless to say, those kids never talked about my pubes or lack of pubes ever again.
Violence, guys.
That was an oddly specific example that he gave.
But you just gotta realize, man, you fuck with somebody on the wrong day.
And why would a 7th grader be telling an 8th grader they don't have pubes? Like, the 8th grader must have exposed himself because older kids usually get puberty before the younger ones.
You might get
There's
more
some
than just
sussy behavior here.
As usual.
To fuck you or leave me alone. You know what I mean? You might get something to the dome. Like that kid got. But yeah, bro, I felt really bad about it afterwards, dude. You know, because, again, I'm not a violent person.
You're laughing about it right now. What are you talking about?
And that kid, bro.
It doesn't sound like you feel bad about it.
I hate dark sunglasses. I don't know why. It's just weird. But
why do you have them?
What was I trying to say, homie? Like, you know, I don't know, man.
Right now, Jared is at 1,100 subs. Okay, he struggled to get to 400. It took him like 2 years to get to 400, and now all of a sudden he's at 1,100. He's glowing, bud. Actually, this channel's pretty new. Actually, I was wrong. This channel came out in September, apparently. Huh. Oh yeah, and that was the last time he was flagging people. I remember.
God, I totally lost my train of thought, guys. I didn't have caffeine today. We ran out of coffee. I could tell it's deeply affecting me, bro. I got some green tea, which, you know, the caffeine in tea, it's not nearly as powerful.
Not in green tea.
Yeah, there's some highly caffeinated black and red teas that pack a punch.
Basically, you know, we all fuck up in life, guys. And my trolls, I know they're going to...
Some more than others.
...take this video and they're going to try to paint me in this really bad light. But I can assure you they've all done way more fucked up shit than me. There's a guy whose name I'm not going to mention because these are all nobodies and not worth talking about. But he proudly, you know, has videos of this guy's dad's grave being desecrated. These are the people that try to
a
act.
fan of Isom?
Yeah, I have no idea what he's talking about.
Oh, holier than thou. They're a bunch of fucking, scumbags. They really are, dude. And this was the same guy that he somehow was able to make my phone constantly ring on Christmas Day. We couldn't even enjoy our Christmas dinner because this little piece of shit felt like he had to talk to my mom and dad so badly that he ruined our Christmas dinner.
But that's a good thing. Every time a home phone rings, an angel gets its wings.
Just unplug the phone, but I guess we just didn't think about that.
Okay.
It was ringing non-stop, the same number over and over. These are the people who try to act like little angels. You know what I mean? Pathetic. But I'm sure all you guys know about them. I don't need to tell you what kind of scumbags they are. But I'm warning you right now, the little fuck
I like
boys
how
who
now he's like, we could have turned it off. We could have unplugged the phone.
Right.
Like, you could have. Why didn't you? You just didn't think of it? You let some troll ruin Christmas because you didn't think to turn the ringer off?
What the fuck?
like to gang stalk me. They're going to take this video. They're going to try to spin it any way they can to make me look bad, and just don't fall for their shit. You know what I'm saying? We all fuck up in life. I fucked up that day. I could have had shit happen to me. You know what I mean? Like if his fucking brother was there or some shit. But he wasn't, bitch. I'm just kidding, guys. Shout outs to the homie. You know what I'm saying? If you're still out there, man, I'm sorry about that. And it's funny because it actually bothered me to the point where I even talked to a therapist about it. Like, no shit, bro. This was someone that I was, normally seeing. I didn't just go because of this incident. But I remember my old my old therapist, Anthony. Yeah, I actually talked to him about this because it really did kind of fuck me up.
I saw a meme today. It said the real body count is how many people talk to their therapist about you.
Jesus Christ.
I thought that was cool.
But I mean, it's just sometimes, man, you're just not having a good day. And I was not having a good day that day. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to share that shit with you, man. Fucking 8th grade, dude. God, middle school was such a bitch, dude. I was probably just taking my anger out on him. Because that's when my life started going downhill. I think it was distinctly 8th grade. It was right after my girlfriend, Icy Joe, broke up with me. That was her actual fucking white trash name. Her parents had the audacity.
My girlfriend, Icy Joe? Have we never heard of Icy Joe before?
No.
What is that name? He had a girlfriend named Icy Joe in the 8th grade.
Icy Joe.
Now, was it Icy Joe like she's cold, like icy, or is she like the IC, like it's intensive care because she survived intensive care?
She's the Intercontinental Champion, Joe.
Or is she Joe C's daughter, IC Joe?
Or, well, what if it's IC Joe? Like,
see?
Yeah.
That could be it. Like they saw Joe.
Yes.
Her name was Icy Joe because she used to stalk my roommate friend and constant guest of the podcast, Joe.
Yeah.
Literally put on her birth card, Icy Joe. I'm not going to say her last name, but yeah. What great fucking
Say it,
parents
Jared.
were they?
Say it.
Holy shit, bro. Seriously, I mean, to have a teacher, I remember teachers, they would call her Icy. It's like, bro, that's so fucked up. Like, don't call a girl Icy. Fucking,
aren't you calling her Icy?
Icy? That's weird, son. But yeah, bro.
Speaking of Icy,
middle school, bro.
Did you hear about those Chiefs fans that got found in their friend's backyard?
Yeah, I have that.
Man, if anybody out there, real quick, if anybody out there is thinking about doing drugs anytime soon, don't for a while. We've had 2 adult film stars overdose recently. I think there's a bad batch of shit going around right now. I think it's really bad.
I'd love to hear
How
your
much
story.
Of a piece of shit is Jared that life was ruined by someone named Icy Joe at 13 to 14 years old.
Oh, I think you answered your own question there.
You guys haven't, but goddamn, dude. That was really like the time in my life when I realized life is probably not going to be fun anymore. And it really hasn't been since. But you know what, man? It's never too late to change your life.
And he tries to relive that fun by dating middle school girls to this day.
I'm just doing what I can right now to manifest, you know what I'm saying, my heart's desires. I'm practicing the law of attraction and things like that, and meditation. Because
he should go to Art Van Gro's The Seed of Conscience community.
She could heal him.
I do believe that dreams can become reality and shit like that, you know, because everything is energy. And I believe that we are actually in a simulation. I don't believe anything is real. I don't believe this world is real. Because honestly, bro, it's just too goddamn strange. You know what I mean? Like this world is too goddamn strange to actually be real. I think whatever real life there is, I think it happens after you die. I think this is sort of just in a way like a dream. So you can manifest through your own dreams. That's the thing. It's like when you're dreaming, there's a guy I'm watching. His first name is Elmer. I forget his last name.
Fudd.
He says
we got
that
Elmer, Icy
when you
Joe,
go to sleep,
the Jared crew is on fire tonight.
Your last thought right before you go to sleep is how the next day is gonna be. So if you're just like thinking negative shit, negative things are gonna happen to you the next day. So like your dreams really do dictate what your reality is gonna be. And that's quotes on reality. I'm not making this kind of complicated, but you know how the next day is gonna be after your dream, basically. So yeah, guys, that's what I got for you on this video. Hell fucking yeah, dude.
K Twice says nobody is named Elmer. I was born in the 80s. I remember a guy named Elmer. I remember when I was very young knowing an Elmer, and he was an old white-haired guy, and Elmer was a good dude, I think.
Thank you to the homie. I'm sure that probably cost you a good like $50 to $100. I really do fucking appreciate that, man. Like seriously. You could have spent that money on fucking Taco Bell. You know what I'm saying? You could have bought like 50 burritos, but instead you chose to help out a homie. Appreciate you. But I'm sure you saved yourself a lot of pain on the toilet by doing that. You know what I mean? Fucking Taco Bell, bro. They use, and it's not the beans that make the shit.
Is Jared living your life, Ben?
Maybe.
Either, bro.
He's over here talking about how Taco Bell ruins your body. You had a Taco Bell moment this week.
Yeah, I had a Taco Bell hangover.
Really fucking bad meat, like grade E. And it will terribly upset your insides.
He's telling shit that I heard at the lunch table in middle school. Like the shit he's saying right now.
It's literally like, you know what they do with hot dog wieners? It's just like recycled weird meat and shit. That's what they do with Taco Bell. It's you're basically eating, you know, rancid stale meat and like
I don't think it's
God knows what kind of body parts and shit like that. You know what I mean? Fucking bull testicles. I don't know, bro. I think they call those mountain oysters or whatever. I don't know though. Actually, I'm not really sure about that. I mean, it's probably just like really old fucking, you know, ground beef.
It's not old.
It's not old.
When it comes to like,
it's low grade.
But it's not even like it's not even that low of grade. It's the grade you would get for fast food. It's a fast food grade meat, and they put a bunch of seasoning and other things into it. I believe there's a soy compound they mix in with it to like give it its texture. I think that's what you get when you get a Taco Bell taco.
Wieners, God only knows what's in that shit. And it's a good thing they don't put it on the
beef
label.
And cornmeal.
Otherwise,
it could be cornmeal then, not soy.
If you don't know what you're eating, might as well shove it in your mouth. That's what she said. Perfect way to end the video. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for epic content, guys. I'm just getting started on this fucking platform. The haters ain't gonna stop me, so stay tuned, guys.
Yeah, you're gonna stop yourself like you do every time.
The haters ain't gonna stop me. Jared, Elmer, and Icy Joe riding that 1,000 subscriber
to the moon. To the moon. I'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time. Big Face Billy here. Ask your questions, get your answers.
Well,
I
Now
hope
we
you
that
know.
Jared is stuck in THR 8th grade. I don't remember being in the 8th grade and being that stupid.
I mean, I think you were that stupid in 8th grade, but you didn't know it. 'Cause 8th grade, everybody has a little bit of 8th grade in them still, right? Like, think of what music you were listening to in 8th grade. You're probably still listening to, we still have love for it today. Probably. Could be wrong. What rare precious metals would you invest in? I think right now I would get tungsten. Billy, could you smoke weed? I cannot. Hank Chill smokes an 1/8 of high-grade Taco Bell. Who do I think is going to win the tussle, says Simple Country? That's a good question. I don't have a clear pick this year. I think it's anybody's game. One thing we've done this last year is really get some competitors, and it really depends on who shows up. We have so many people that it's a coin toss when they show up, whether they put the work in or not. I don't know if there's too many instances of consistency with our people here. So success is really just based on who decides to show up. Mr. Driscoll says, what's your favorite snack, Billy? I've been eating burrata from Costco. It's like a mozzarella cheese with this creamy, curdy center. It's very tasty. It's creamy and tasty. I'm glad you smoked some weed, Zing Butcher. You got until February 1st to see Godzilla -1. Better hurry. Zap, I've already seen Godzilla -1. You know I had to see it. FBO says, can I get a hug? One. You get a one-arm hug today. I thought I gave you a big hug last time. I'll give you a one-arm curl hug. Atheist the band? I have no idea what that means, Zachary. Ever done LSD or mushrooms? I did try to do mushrooms one night. There was a friend of the show, fan of the show. I don't know if they've ever been on the show, but they had some mushrooms, and they were giving mushrooms away, and they offered to do mushrooms with me and Joe. So I wanted to be a baby bitch about it, and I was like, I just want to do a little dose because I don't want to get way too wasted. I didn't get really, really high, but I saw like some slight tracers and stuff. Your rating for Godzilla -1? I'd say it was like a nice 8 out of 10 film. I felt like there was a few things at the end that maybe I wouldn't have done that way, but I understand why they did it. But it was great. It was very fun. Revolting Machine says it was okay, nothing too amazing. Whoa, 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 whoa. Are you saying we need our gigantic mutant dino type creatures to be amazing? The 5 o'clock shadow. I didn't shave today. I could probably grow a beard if I waited. Javed Akhtar says, is Doge worth buying? Do you mean like the actual dog, a Shiba Inu? Or the coin? The coin, I don't know if it's worth buying. I think most crypto right now is probably worth sinking some cash into. But it was probably better to sink it into 6 months to a year ago. You wonder if Icy Joe has a cold poo? Nah, you can't say that word about a supposed middle schooler. There needs to be the amazing Godzilla, like the amazing Spider-Man. Did we ever have like a Godzilla versus a superhero comic book? I know he had comic books. Danger Dude says, I don't trust crypto at all. Well, you don't have to trust it. You can see the trends. Every year it drops after an election, and then halfway through the election point starts to crawl back up to the election. Go all the way back to 2012 election, see what it did crawling up to there when it debuted in 2009, and it's continued to do the same thing. So, I mean, you don't have to trust it. It is gambling, right? It's gambling. But a lot of people gamble all the time. Godzilla versus Power Rangers. That sounds good, actually, because the Power Rangers were always fighting those kaiju-style enemies.
All right, we are going to check out some news. Here we go.
He called me, sir, and got me so fuming angry.
People are discriminating against wolves. Wow.
They're laughing at us, at our stupidity.
And you better well learn to love it.
All right. Here's that story about the people who froze to death.
Police in Missouri are trying to figure out what happened in a Kansas City backyard. Are you fascinated with the story?
This is a crazy story.
This is something weird. I don't know. 3 men were found dead in a backyard after gathering to watch a football game.
Good Day Wake Up anchor Dan Bowens has more on this mysterious case. And Dan, not only because the bodies were found there, but because someone was inside the house for a couple of days leading up to this,
for
right?
a couple of days, and he said, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why those folks are in my backyard, but they are his friends.
Those folks, but he knows them.
Do know that. This is a strange case we've been monitoring for a few days, and this morning, as the Kansas City Chiefs are preparing for their big AFC Championship game, police in the city are investigating the mysterious deaths of 3 fans. The case now drawing national attention and a lot of scrutiny because there are plenty of questions. Now, here's how this all unfolded. About 2 weeks ago, those 3 fans gathered at the Kansas City home of their friend Jordan Willis on January 7th. This was the final game of the regular season and the last time they would be seen alive. A full 2 days after that game, David Harrington, Ricky Johnson, and Clayton McGreeny were found frozen to death in the backyard of their friend Jordan Willis's home. When police approached Mr. Willis about the bodies, he claimed to have no idea. When pressed, he said he recalled seeing them leave through the front door at around midnight and doesn't know why they ended up in his backyard. Willis told investigators he was sleeping all of Monday. He was sleeping, and he didn't check the backyard. The trio was found Tuesday, January 9th, after Clayton McGeeney's fiance requested...
It's weird that they all died, too. Like, it wasn't just like a random death of one of them.
It makes me think that it was an overdose. Like they were all doing the same batch of shit, and those 3 guys overdosed. That's my suspicion. Hayasa Kite says they found a case of poppers in the house. It was a gay orgy. I didn't know that was true.
Welfare check.
But
she says she texted Willis when McGeeney didn't return home, but Willis says he didn't receive any text messages at all. Questions there. Willis's lawyer says his client is distraught after the deaths of his own friends.
He slept most of the morning on Monday. He got up, and at some point he relocated to the bedroom, got up on Tuesday morning. He works from home. He had no reason to go in the backyard.
And you can see why there are so many questions here, because these explanations are just not holding up with grieving family members who want answers that quite simply make more sense. Willis has since moved out of that house, which is a rental. Victim autopsy reports, including
He's like, all right, I'm leaving.
Reports, are still pending.
That's hella quick to move out.
Could prove quite important. Some family members do believe that they think drugs may have been involved. Again, that's not confirmed at this time, and there are still plenty of questions for the person who was still in.
I saw an interview with one of the guy's dads. It was Cuomo was interviewing him, and the dad, Cuomo asked him, like, I don't know, does your son use drugs? And the dad was like, oh, you know, he wasn't a druggie. Like he's like, he used drugs, but he never had to go to rehab or anything. And I wonder if these guys, because like they're watching the game, they're probably drinking. I think that, you know, it's a big game, it's a big party. They might want to get some candy, and there's so many people ODing right now because of this. We just lost. Was it Jesse Jane? Was it Jesse Jane or something? The porn star, and Mazumi Max, I believe.
Masumi Max died?
I think she passed away today. Yeah, people are going down.
I knew her. She was like a BME person back
I
in the
think
day.
she's like 45, and the other one, Jessie Jane or whatever, 42. I wish I knew their names better. I'm really not a porn connoisseur.
Yeah, she was 45. I had no idea. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I remember when she
sure
was on.
passed today.
I remember when she was on Fear Factor, too.
I do not remember that.
Yeah, she was on Fear Factor once.
Was it Ludacris Fear Factor or Joe Rogan Fear Factor?
Joe Rogan.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you hear about Vince McMahon?
No, what about Vince McMahon?
Oh, man, there's like a big court case being waged against him. And in the court documents, there's a girl that worked for him that has said some pretty heinous stuff. But one thing was that Vince was having two guys having sex with her at once. It was a threesome. And he had pooped on her head during the threesome. And they continued, I guess, to have sex with her for an hour and a half afterwards. I didn't read the whole thing, but that was something that stood out.
Yeah, I didn't know. I hadn't heard that. Let's do.
Yeah, the Brock Lesnar's included. Supposedly Vince used this woman as a bartering chip to rehire Brock Lesnar in 2021. They're saying it's trafficking.
Here's T-Bob's history lesson.
Look, the Civil War was not started over slavery. It just wasn't. History has never taught that. You've never learned that in school, or you were taught false history. Simple as that. The Civil War was fought over state rights against the rights of the federal government.
The states have rights, okay? If the federal government starts saying we can't have slavery, it's not a slavery thing. It's a state right thing.
Yeah.
It was formed so that we could have a governing body in order to free ourselves from the clutches of the English. And we did that. Canada has never properly done that, which they should. Unfortunately, Canada is still under the geyser of England. That's why they have to pay dues to
under the
England
geyser
every
of
year.
England.
He doesn't even know what he's talking about. Like, they're like a commonwealth of the monarchy, but that means almost nothing these days. It's more like
They're under the geyser of England, Ben.
the geyser.
They're Old Faithful.
Because they answer to the royal family. It's simple as that. And how dumb is that? I don't know. You have to be pretty damn dumb to continue to pay ransom money to another country so they don't invade your country and take it back, which England could not do if Canada were to ally itself with the United States. The problem with Canada is a communist regime. That's the problem with Canada.
Oh, yeah?
So America has no business getting involved with their non.
Yeah, I remember when I went up to Canada the last time I had to stand in line to get some bread.
Well, if the only problem with Canada is that it's a communist regime, communist regimes might be cool.
Yeah.
Since over there. That's pretty simple, yeah. Now, the Civil War was fought over state rights. Okay, states wanted to expand their territory, and the federal government stepped in and said, no, we're not going to have all this because we're not going to have a United States of Pennsylvania.
I remember Bob was so butthurt when Biden won the election. He wanted a secession of states. We need a secession of states now.
Or a United States of Georgia or whatever, because ultimately one state would end up buying it all
I
out.
remember when Trump won, we saw Lacey Green cry and flip out that Trump won, right? She was one of the people that reacted.
Maybe, I think.
And then when Biden won, we saw all these like MAGA dads cry and flip out.
Mm-hmm.
Who was more right to cry? Like
neither.
like I'm trying to weigh out how bad both presidents were, and Trump sticks out so much for things like, COVID being handled the way it was and the country closing down. There may have been more he could have done there, but that wouldn't have been predicted.
Laws based on provincial government rulings and jurisdictions. Bob, we are all gay communists, though. Bob has us there.
He's right about that.
Yeah.
And then you look at all the things that's gone down under Biden. Like, he hasn't done a great job of cleaning up that mess. I don't know. I think we should all be crying. I kind of wish I was Lacey and Trump dads right now. Wish I had it in me to cry again.
Well, anyway,
things have been
and
horrible.
that would end the ideology of having states, which is a pretty good idea. It seems to have saved America, at least up until this point. So that's just that, guys. The Civil War started in 1961. Clinton freed the slaves in 1962.
Clinton?
Civil War is pretty much over in 1965, but not officially until 1966.
What is he talking about?
He's talking about the Civil War
John,
of the 1960s. You don't remember the Civil War of the 1960s?
Well, I wasn't alive, but no, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, Clinton freed the slaves in 1962.
Clinton would have been really young in 1962.
Yeah, he was ready to go, though.
Yeah, he would have been quite young.
Reverend Veritas says, I think T-Bob has gone insane.
Has?
I think you have gone insane for using the word has in that sentence.
I love the Chris and Bob arguing but memes. You know the whole thing where like Bob was like, take all that stuff off of there. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And when people are reenacting them now, this is Chris and Bob arguing, but it's verbose.
This does not even deserve a captain's log introduction, because this is dead serious.
The online YouTube video I uploaded to the internet, which contained information and visual footage of the interior of my abode, as well as the exterior, the one which I had recorded and uploaded only just a few moons ago. I regret to inform you all, but my maternal parental figure, Barbara Chandler, as well as my paternal parental figure, Robert Chandler, have been expressing many negative feelings towards me. Dare I say their behavior is rather cantankerous. They have judged me on my actions and determined that this entire debacle rests on my shoulders. It is in fact my doing. Yes, I agree that it is in fact my doing. I wish to make a formal request then about my desire for every man, woman, and child to remove everything mentioning and containing information or visual imagery about my abode, both the inside and the outside of my abode, to be removed from any hostessing services from the internet.
There's this one where it was medieval, and Bob comes in and he's like, "Hearken to me!"
I am prepared to request
hearken to me,
including but not limited to detectives. Indeed, I intend to use the full extent of my abilities, reach, and contacts to ensure that my goals are met. I implore you, stop what you are doing now and focus on removing that information and visual information from any internet service. I request that you heed my words carefully. I
do not like the sound design on this.
No, the music is too loud.
Yeah, this is shit sound design. Ruins the entire attempted joke, in my opinion.
This does not even deserve a bad signal, because this is dead serious. The inside and outside tour I did a few months ago, the Batcave. Everyone in Gotham, Commissioner Gordon and Alfred, are angry at me. They're blaming it on me. It's my fault. I admit it. It's my fault. I want everything about the Batcave off the Gotham net. I'll send the GCPD. I'll send in Nightwing. I'll send in everything in my power. Just get it off the Gotham net.
Listen to me. Listen, Master Wayne, listen to me.
Yes.
Listen to me.
Yes.
Turn off that goddamn bat computer.
Turn that goddamn thing off.
I don't care what you do. You get all of that stuff off of there.
Okay. Yeah. I'm surprised. Some of the oldest ones are like 6 years old, but all of a sudden people are making a ton of them.
Well, these ones suck. I hope there were some good ones.
There were quite a few good ones. There was one where it was Mickey Mouse and Walt Disney, and they were fighting over everything being public domain. It was pretty good.
That's how Egghead and his dad used to fight.
Egghead. This man falls. Check this out.
It's like he startled the guy. He didn't hit him though. He would have hit the guy or knocked him over physically instead of just startling him. That would have been a whole different case. This guy didn't get hit. He's chasing the guy down in anger. He's having a little bit of bicyclist road rage.
0.6.
Broke his ankles.
Damn. That was, a pretty hilarious video. Let's check out.
That was two dickheads colliding.
Yeah, that's usually what creates those sorts of videos in many cases.
Hello, everyone. I'm Renown Zero, and we're back again talking about some more detractors. We got some Buster Baxter. We got some Frogman. We got some Niobe, because apparently he decides that he's going to go off on people for a little bit, and we're going to listen to what these people have to say and read some of the stuff that they have to say, and we're going to discuss. Of course, the Alpcore campaign.
Oh, God. Lately, Sturgis has been arguing with people about whether or not he's a shill. He's like, shills get paid. And it's only, there are several definitions of shill, and not all of them include being paid. And I think it's more pathetic when you're not getting paid. I think
more accurately, he's maybe a clout chaser.
Yeah, he's something, all right.
Student of God have decided to pull up some clips of EVS saying how tracing was fantastic back then. So we got this clip. We'll listen to it here.
Well, it's good. Here's what I would suggest to you, Richard. I would suggest that if you're going to draw a scene like Washington, D.C., why not just trace it? I know that sounds like, what do you mean, Ethan? Why not just trace it? Well, why not? Why not just trace it? Because, Washington, D.C. does look a certain way, and you might as well just find it.
It's very interesting how about 5 years ago, he was all about telling people to trace stuff, but now that Eric supposedly traced stuff, because of course you can't.
He didn't trace shit. He didn't make any of the art.
Well, I think the difference is that he's saying if you want to get something with great detail like a cityscape, you might as well just trace the city. But when it comes to being lazy, where you're just tracing every single 3D rendering, you're kind of like, nobody needs to trace a shitty building or nobody needs to trace a doorway,
Right.
Boglum React's gonna join us
Hell
tomorrow for Actual Mania.
It's gonna be insane. I'm very excited. I'm very excited for Actual Mania.
His artist did any kind of tracing, yet you openly see here that he admits to
essentially bud
telling people to trace stuff. And we have evidence of that.
A nice photograph that looks like what you want. And go ahead and lightbox it, trace it. You'll get all the buildings right. You won't have to worry about, the
I love how he thinks this is a gotcha. He loves the false equivalencies. He uses them a lot.
Another clip.
Well, I don't know if he knows the difference. I think his brain is so basic and stupid that he can't correlate the depth of things.
You could be right.
Of course, from Frogman showing artwork that he actually did, where he just traced a baseball stadium. Let's go ahead and listen.
And Jeff wanted me to draw Giants Stadium.
I like how it's all these like really intricate,
It's not that they
factually
traced it, it's
accurate
that they
things.
used the CGI assets without even bothering to trace it.
Oops.
Was I traced it? I think I found a photograph of a Giant Stadium and I blew it up on a Xerox as big as I could get it and then light boxed it because I didn't know how to go about. I was still kind of a young artist. I didn't know how to go about drawing Giant Stadium in the traditional way with a perspective grid. It just would have been way too much work.
Also, it looks like he's done things like trace stuff back in the day when he was younger and not as experienced artist, but you still did it.
These are very intricate things that, like, you know, they want accuracy.
Right.
And they're saying just trace for accuracy. And another thing about comic books is you're usually getting paid per page. And if you're in the comic book business, you want to do the best work, but you do want to get it out in a timely fashion. That's just what people who are artists in the comic industry go for. And something like this, it's a great undertaking, and accuracy is important. Use a little bit of help. Why not? They're not saying lean into this. They're not saying don't put in work in your fucking work like it seemed to be with the other stuff.
Still did it. So, caught in 4K as always. We also got Mike S. Miller, who's showing Kyle.
And everybody's saying that Isom just cut and pasted, didn't even trace. I thought that they traced the cut and paste assets, but maybe no. I didn't know all that.
You know, saying to someone, say trace 3D assets. I do actually own Starblades. I thought Starblades was a pretty decent book written by and colored by Kyle Ritter. I'm sure it was drawn by Kyle Ritter as well. I'm not 100% on that, but correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please, if you don't mind. Says people didn't care because it looked good. That's not the point. The point is you're trying to be on this high horse and have this principle of trace 3D assets, yet you have artists that are essentially doing that.
Essentially.
According to Mike Miller. So who knows? He could just be out on a tirade against Ethan and kind of taking advantage of all the drama going on, but we'll move on to Ripper vs. Goalposts. Shout out. Of course, we have Richard Embryo, who is going to come out for Yaira, if you could.
Did he call him Embryo?
Yeah.
So that didn't come out for AlphaCore. Ripperverse stays at 10K to 15K total purchasers. It's supposed to be purchasers, and 1 to 1.5 million in sales until something changes. I mean, if he puts out 6 books.
What? Ripperverse stays at 10 to 15K total purchases.
Yeah.
And Sturgis corrected him and said, it's purchasers.
Yeah, which I don't think is true. I think there's 10 to 15,000 purchases, and the purchasers are purchasing multiple copies of the book.
Absolutely.
In a year, and each campaign gets anywhere from 1 to 1.5 million. That's still, 6 to maybe 8 million. He's still making a lot in sales and is continuing to operate his business. So I don't know why you're so concerned if he puts out 6 books and gets 1 million per piece, although there are people saying that. What if Yaira gets 1 million, and what if Gooding hits 500K? For a Mike Barron written book with Gooding, I doubt it would hit 500K, considering that all the books that Eric decides to create are based on the fans' recommendations for characters to write.
Why is Romania trends coming up on his Twitter, like trending? Romania,
Egypt, Dubai, Bitcoin, Pokemon. My man is a man of the world.
Stories on Yaira was more hyped for, and
Gooding is just not a good character, and that's part of the problem.
Over AlphaCore, so I could see it possibly getting more support than AlphaCore, but we'll just have to wait and see. Here we go. We got Niobe Comics saying Ripperverse fans are the worst. They won't debate me, bro. Eric July decided to form his own community and be separate from us. So essentially you're saying us being the cult. Congratulations. Now we're going to take shots at you every chance we get. You're not a friendly. All Ripperverse fans are hostiles. You mean hostile? Are hostile? What are you on about with this nonsense, dude?
No, hostile is what you call a hostile opponent, a friendly opponent. It's It's just nomenclature, Sturgis. I know your stupid brain can't pick up anything out of your tiny circle. Oh, he's in that PAL world. Ben, are you in that PAL world?
I've heard about it, but I've never played it. No.
PAL world is the future, man. If you love Pokemon and you love Ark, you love PAL world. Everybody wants to be a PAL.
So is it like Ark, but with Pokemon?
I think it's Pokemon in the style of Ark. I don't know.
And React.
I didn't actually play
Hair itself. That's right. Ripperverse fans are the worst. They're the worst kind of scum.
Ripperverse.
Worse than lawyers and politicians.
I like how he's correcting him on Ripper versus Rippa-verse. Like you don't know what it is, and as if it really matters.
They won't debate me. They won't come on here.
What is there to debate?
The thing that we've been debating for 9 months? What do you mean? What is the shit you're always crying about in your videos?
Yeah, how about just having a face-to-face conversation with somebody instead of hiding in your hug box and silently commenting lower and lower and lower down the food chain?
People like ISOM in the Ripperverse. The other side doesn't like ISOM in the Ripperverse. We clearly know you don't. And you like to promote your books in other people's live streams because no one's buying your stuff, clearly.
They're cowards. Like Sturgis is a coward. He won't face me in Street Fighter 6.
Who's Sturgis, bud?
He's afraid that I will just utterly destroy him, and I would.
Your AI or whatever the heck you got going on here, by the way, doesn't sync with your voice. It looks like dog shit. So
damn.
Who? First of all, hashtag who is Sturgis? Secondly,
everyone knows who Sturgis is, especially you. You know who Sturgis is.
No one cares.
Good
You want
comeback.
To talk about me doing things for the community?
Who's
Motherfucker,
Sturgis?
I am
No
the
one
community.
cares, bud.
I've been the community for the last 10 years. I've been doing this since 2014, good sir.
And yet Eric is more successful than you, and Frogman's more successful than you, and even up-and-coming people like Raging Golden Eagle and Toxic Man Baby are more successful than you. There's plenty of indie creators that are more successful than you, and you've been doing it for 14 years.
And not only that, I've had everyone on this channel underneath.
I think he said he'd been doing it for 10 years, not 14 years.
Yeah, he said 2014, and the Sturgis' tiny little brain just held on to the 14.
The sun. All the way from far left-leaning creators, big in the industry, people that formed Image Comics, such as Eric Larson, all the way to the other side where we...
Cool story, bro. There are other people that say the exact same thing when it comes to bringing creators on, yet their channels are going nowhere.
Plus our love to each other with Ethan Van Sciver.
Nayobi's here. Since when is Larry saying "I love you" to me? It's crazy.
I have 10 years
Thanks,
worth of
Larry.
I have 10 years worth of history that proves my track record of helping quote unquote the community.
Who cares? You're just promoting people that you want to promote, as well as you're out there saying that Eric should essentially promote people that you like rather than people that you don't like. You claimed that Rini and Yellow Flash were large creators on YouTube. Rini's channel isn't that large, but Rini's artwork on Fiendish and the ISOM poster that she made for Eric are fantastic. And Yellow Flash has yet to create or even come out with his book yet. So
your problem is that Eric is not in the community. He had chances to be in the community. He has ignored those chances. He has gone ahead and decided that he was going to form his own community and be separate.
Okay, that's 100% his right to do that, and all I'm hearing...
I want to know if there's anything Eric could do that Sturgis wouldn't defend. Like, how far does it have to go?
What if Eric starts making good comic books and Sturgis realizes that he likes bad comic books and turns on Eric July?
From you right
I don't
now
know,
is
maybe.
that he didn't join your little cult.
From us. Congratulations. Now we're just going to take shots at you every chance we get.
Kick the baby.
You're not a friendly. You're a hostile. Just like Ripper Goalpost is a hostile. Just like all Ripperverse fans
Ripper
are hostile.
Goalpost is not a hostile. Ripper Goalpost is the best Eric July troll of all time. I'm telling you.
You heard it here, folks. He said it. He said all Rippaverse fans are hostile just because you disagree with an opinion that someone else may
It's just
have,
your opinion, bud.
such as Isum sucks, or Isum's terrible, or Isum's art's terrible. Just because you disagree with this person's opinion, you're a hostile. Even though the people on the Rippaverse side kind of just want to enjoy Rippaverse comics and whatever other indie comics they choose to enjoy, because even if people are feuding between each other, you could still buy everybody's
I don't believe
comics.
anybody on the Rippaverse side is trying to enjoy comic books. They put that comic book over 4 million sold before ever reading it, before ever actually enjoying it. They're trying to invigorate a market that caters towards a more libertarian, anti-woke agenda. They're trying to gas it up, and the numbers are dwindling because the people who believed at the beginning have slowly been saying none of this is going to deliver. But there are still people holding out, hoping, because they don't know the difference between good media or bad media, that this bad media will still give them a market share, and they'll be able to take down Disney and BlackRock and all the wokes by their little lonesome selves. But it's a grift. Eric July is selling the snake oil. This is not the solvent that's going to save the world. It's just snake oil.
You're free to do so. It's your money.
You're a coward to invoke my name. Just like Sturgis is a coward to invoke my name. He won't even respond to my tweets of a challenge on Street Fighter 6. He won't. Because he knows. He knows he'll get crushed.
Damn.
Okay, your fanaticism for this one man.
Sturgis is very quiet during the Street Fighter 6 challenge.
Unbelievable. It's ridiculous.
You're the one making videos talking negatively about someone that doesn't give a crap about you at all. So, at least with me, I organically get shout-outs from Eric. I've never asked him to do that.
What a little simp.
Yeah. The people who are responding to Eric aren't looking for shout-outs. They're looking for reactions. And Eric is giving them all reactions consistently to this day, to the point where he spent, unlike Jared Genesis, who spent Christmas with his phone ringing all day, Eric July spent Christmas responding to hater comments.
Yeah.
All come organically. He has taken it upon himself to shout out my channel. And I appreciate him doing that because he doesn't have to do that. He went out of his way to do that. You, on the other
he's
hand,
a creator. He's going to find the small amount of ride or dies he has and be thankful for them. Creators love having some people that tell them their shit is good. When you don't have a massive amount of people commenting about how good your stuff is, you find it in the little weirdos like Sturgis. I still like my little weirdos, and I have hundreds of people that think I'm cool.
jumped on the hate train just like Richard Embryo and just like Frogman and all these other weirdo detractors who decided it was profitable for me to jump on the hate train against the black man making a comic book.
It's like a goddamn religion for you punks. You know what I mean? Right? There is only one word for it. Fanaticism.
There's only one word for people like you who say, you didn't join our side. It's called a cult.
Fanatics. You're an Eric July fanatic. You're drinking that purple Kool-Aid.
Whoa.
That's not racist at all. The purple Kool-Aid, why's it gotta be...
Can't even do a backwards Hadouken since Street Fighter.
No, he can't.
Since Street Fighter 6.
You know, I was looking on Brett Keen's Rumble channel for videos to watch on the show, and his latest video, and Brett has done this since the beginning, is just a re-upload of an old Colossal is Crazy video where Colossal is Crazy just shits on TJ for the whole video. And Brett King didn't put any commentary or anything on it. It's just a re-upload of a really old Colossal is Crazy video. Brett is just like, he doesn't even care, you know? He does whatever it takes.
Purple Kool-Aid. Why can't it be red Kool-Aid? Why can't it be blue Kool-Aid? Why did it have to be purple Kool-Aid? Showing a bit of racism right there. Just saying.
Like there was fucking no tomorrow.
I mean, the word fanatic is shortened to the word fan. So yeah, people are fans of Eric July. I'm sure people are fans of
you
Eric
called
July's
him.
music.
You said they were a cult in the middle of him calling you a fanatic, and then explaining in his purple drink racism way that you were doing cult-like things. You're literally doing "I know you are, but what am I?" back and forth.
He does it all. Yeah.
It's highly pedantic, child. Child.
His ghostwriting, his raps, and now his comic book company, his comic books. Possibly they were fans of his socio-political commentary, and now they've been converted into comic book fans or fans of his comic
Not
book
comic book fans.
No.
Spending money on bullshit fans. Let's get it right.
It's them throwing in their cash to do their share of the work for the culture war. That's what they're doing.
Oh, I don't know. It's so difficult for you to figure that out. Niobe says he never wanted Rippaverse fan support and would rather fail than to have it. Interesting statement considering Niobe was recently caught promoting his comic book in Eric July's chat. And you can see the post here where he says all this stuff, and you can see the screenshot here where you clearly see him promoting his...
I mean, there was someone that looked like your account saying a bunch of shit. So this could be fake as fuck. I don't know who Niobe is.
I don't know either, but whether it's fake or real or not, Zap, how you gonna spend $2 to say all that stuff? We can't read all that in 2 seconds. But whatever it is, I agree.
In Eric July's chat. Kind of interesting how that works because it comes back to bite you in the ass. And here we got
Kale loves orange soda.
But out how people choose to operate is absolutely weird to me. It's where he says Niobe's pathetic, which he responds by saying, I promo in his chat as a message and a symbol of disrespecting him. See, it's considered rude to shill your stuff in someone else's live streams, so I decided to be rude to Eric. Yeah, you decided to be rude towards Eric, a guy that
there you go. Niobe did it on
exist.
Purpose.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care, bud.
And pretty much anyone in that chat is going to look at you funny and be like, why are you doing that? And I'm not supporting you. You're essentially losing potential customers because you want to essentially be a dick. And I know people are going to clip out me saying essentially.
Essentially, bud.
Essentially.
Ooh, so scary.
It's not supposed to be scary. It's just funny how much you say it. That's all.
But we also had to.
It's funny because I've heard
Eric on me.
I've heard Eric July say it a lot. It's just kind of pathetic how Sturgis gets his entire vocabulary from Eric July.
Everybody knows Waco was flavoring. It wasn't Waco, was it?
Jim
Jones was that wasn't Waco.
That was Jonestown.
A tweet from October 28th,
yeah, I get confused.
2022. What an accomplishment from the entire team, he says. What he liked, the art by Cliff and Gabe. Cliff was asked to do a lot of establishing and a lot of vital move the story stuff that's laborious and not fun to draw. And he rocked it. Gabe's colors practically glow. I particularly admired work like this. Pain in the ass to draw establishing shots that take all day. Readers don't even notice them because they exist just to set the scene, but artists do. I believe in his drawings. They serve the story. Serve the story is what it actually says. Great writing there, Ethan. The other thing I particularly liked is that Avery isn't a DC superhero. Events seem to cook with him before he makes a decision to act. And when he acts, so far, it hasn't been out of altruism.
So he's reading this old review where he was being polite about it.
It's because his family asked for a favor, and then it's out of personal pride. He's a regular flawed human being who hasn't made perfect choices. Eric's written an actual person, things that could use improvement. Scene changes are jarring in a couple of places. Avery should be bigger on the cover. I got that's it. I had fun reading it. Let's go ISO number 2. Funny how the shift came so quickly and swiftly.
Yeah, and you shift too.
It wasn't that quick. It was over a year.
True.
Within a year or so, from loving ISOM 1 to essentially crapping.
Loving ISOM 1.
Not loving. It was giving a positive review to a friend.
Oh, we also
and then when he was no longer friends, he was like, "Okay, hats off, dude. Here's how I really feel.
Yep.
Here was what you got because you paid me to do a cover. The kindness and camaraderie of business. But now that it's no longer our business, I'm going to shit all over your business."
Buster Baxter, to where Adam here says, if he's so bad that you could easily write something that sells way more. I did, and it was easy. I highly doubt that
Men are better than women. The
crappy
book.
sold $3.7 million worth of product. Highly doubt it. Jesus Christ, who designed this website? Indeed, because they're saying this thing is at the bottom, that the character ISOM is not affiliated with Good Shepherd Ministries International or the International School of Ministry, which is just something that Frog Boy decided to point out, which isn't even
Yeah, it was probably
there.
part of the settlement.
It's supposed to be down here. I have no idea where it went. It's almost as if it doesn't exist. Kind of crazy how people just continue to lie about this man and what he does.
This
and even
man,
if that was
bud.
there, that it would make sense to be there, considering he has to make it easier for people to know that his ISOM books and Ripperverse are not associated with that ministry. That was kind of a thing he said with the settlement. It's not exactly an own, it's actually an own on you, Tony, for people who obviously haven't done any research and they just go along.
You think he would kiss Eric July if Eric July was like willing to?
I don't think he would want to kiss Eric July, but I think if Eric July came in for the kiss, Sturgis would awkwardly accept it and go home thinking about it the entire night.
Believe whatever the heck you're talking about.
Writing in his diary, laying on his bed, writing in his diary.
Yeah, he'd be questioning everything. He'd be like, "Am I in love with Eric July?"
He should ask the Magic 8 Ball.
At the end of the day, I'm going to continue to cover all
At
this.
the end of the day, that's another thing he says a lot.
Going into Yaira 1.
At the end of the
as
day.
the attacks ramp up against the Saska sisters because they want to say we have a trans Yaira and that they're pulling up old tweets of them, which I've covered quite a few times. So I'll keep you all posted. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit the like button. Comment below what you feel about all this. Subscribe for more content. Hit the bell for notifications. Set the bell to all. That way you get notifications anytime I post a new video or live stream. And I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.
Essentially. So there you have it. Sturgis. Everyone knows who Sturgis is. It's funny he wants to create a hashtag that nobody uses. Who is Sturgis? It's you, sir. It's you.
Everybody watching right now, if you see the hashtag "Who is Sturgis" in your timeline, tweet hashtag "Who is Sturgis" explaining exactly who he is. Steal the fucking hashtag.
That could work. This is an interesting video from a courtroom that I saw.
Has anybody promised you anything, threatened you, or coerced you in any way for you to enter into a plea?
Is that Icy Joe down there?
Kind of looks like Gucci's a little bit.
All right, counsel, you can please party your client.
Yes, I'd like to direct your attention to June 15th, 2023 and June 22nd, 2003. Did you fail to appear for a probationary instruction?
Yes.
And additionally, while on probation, you did accrue a new charge, correct?
Yes.
Satisfied, Your Honor.
The court is also satisfied the plea is knowing, voluntary, factually accurate. The court will accept your plea to the probation violations. Enter a plea of guilty based upon your, enter a probation violation based upon your plea of guilty, and that would be technical violations 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And
you know how it's common people will take a deal where they go to rehab instead of jail time. They go to like some sort of treatment.
counsel?
Yeah, that's what's going on.
Your Honor,
here.
I saw the recommendation for 60 days jail. I asked that my client get credit for the time that she's been in since December 1st. I'd ask that it run concurrent with the admonishment that she's received from the charge that she just took a plea on. And then furthermore, she did ask that
Come on,
during this time.
man. It's not that hard to send it to landscape mode. DA more like dumbass.
Right?
In custody.
It's true.
If possible, she would like the opportunity to be tethered to treatment. Thank you, Judge.
All right, Ms. Bolchak, did you request to be tethered to treatment while you've been on bond?
Yes, just to try to have time. I mean, I don't think I personally need treatment, but
You can't say that.
That was something that I asked for when I first got arrested. So I'll do the days, I'll do whatever it takes, but I really just want to get home.
Okay, ma'am, let me ask you a couple questions. Number one,
Yeah, the judge can't like laugh or ignore that. You know, oh, okay, well, yeah, I'll give you treatment just so you can get out of jail quicker.
you don't think you need treatment, why did you ask to go to treatment?
I was trying to
Get out of
have,
jail
like, the
quicker.
days made up. I don't know if I don't really know. Because
Well, ma'am, you asked for treatment, so why did you ask for treatment?
Get out of jail.
I'm sorry?
To not have jail time.
Oh, that's what I thought. Okay, so, and you don't think you need treatment? Given what's been going on with you the last year, you don't think you need treatment?
Honestly, no. I really found myself in here. I've been
She
spending
found
time with
herself in
myself.
there.
I don't know. I don't feel like I need a guy or anything. I don't know. I just want to.
She had her eat, pray, love moment. She's good.
She's good.
Get going on life.
Well, man, the way you've been going on life, not a great start. How old are you?
25.
25. And now you have 3 drug-related convictions. 3.
This
You're
is
under
why
license
I don't
status-
date white women.
You need to date interestingly white women.
You had an opportunity to not have your possession charge on your record, and you didn't do a darn thing with probation. Not at all. You just ghosted us.
I know. If I get probation this time, I told
So
my-
she blew her probation when she had it before.
like, you know, it was
She got ghosted, but this time it'll be different.
This time,
6
yeah.
months. That's all I would really need to get like clean, and you know, by summertime I'd be, you know, working. I really want to get a car. But aside from the job thing, just, you know.
She's like, Your Honor, if you could put me on work release by getting me a nice cush job, like maybe a work from home thing.
Yeah, it's like the unemployment office.
I want to draw and
She
make
found
music
Christ
and-
through eating muff in prison. God is real after all.
Hey, when you're on your knees, you gotta pray.
I don't know. I just want to do things for myself, and I like coffee again. What?
I like coffee again. In her mind, she's just like, she's having an epiphany. She's like, I just wish you could see how beautiful life is, Your Honor. And I'm ready to live it.
I don't know. Just things I've been drinking a lot of water. There's just a lot of things I wasn't doing before that.
Oh,
like,
Your Honor,
I've
she's been
doing.
drinking a lot of water. Let her free.
She's
Let
totally
my people
changed.
Free.
She's been reformed.
I've been in
Yeah.
here. So I haven't
Okay,
been.
ma'am, part of the concern, right, is when you get out, how are you going to continue to do stuff? Right? That's part of what treatment is, and you don't think you need treatment. So
I've been to treatment 7 times. I've been to treatment like 7 times. I don't know. I know how to work the program. I know to go to a meeting when I need to. I know there's just different.
She sounds like she's
I know.
talking
So
to
you
the
go through the
therapist,
motion.
not it just to the
Yeah.
peas.
Yeah.
That's white privilege.
you go through the motions. So you just go through the motions, you don't really receive what it is that you're getting.
I really think I've learned a different way. I've been incarcerated this time, ma'am. I don't know. It's just, it feels different. It feels really different. Here's what is there any probation that you think we need to, like, you
Judge,
know?
we're ready to hear the sentencing. We are.
The lawyer's back. Like
he's like, please stop, please stop.
Yes, no, man, you're not getting probation, I can tell you that much. The court's going to, on 23405, the court's going to adopt the recommendation, revoke probation, close the case without improvement, $50 probation violation fee, 60 days jail. On 23739, the court's going to adopt the recommendation. Your under advisement status is revoked, your probation is revoked, $50 probation violation fee, 60 days jail. The court will know that that will be served concurrent. And then the court's going to also order on 232479, the court's going to order 93 days jail. Credit for your 15 days. That's consecutive with 23739 and 23405.
She hasn't realized what's happening to her just yet.
Yeah, I think the judge just said 90 something, 93.
She said 93 with 15 consecutively served. There's also 60 days for another charge, and there's a third charge she's bringing up the sentencing for as well.
Suspend your fines and costs on this matter.
What?
Any questions, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
Any questions, ma'am?
So, how many days?
Well, 60 on your probation violations plus 93 plus 15. So that's going to be, I can tell you exactly what that is, ma'am.
Is there any way I could do treatment?
138 days.
138 days.
Is there any way
But she did say something about consecutive, so maybe that'll be whittled down in actuality, but.
And you told this court you don't need treatment.
Okay,
Yeah, that was very dumb.
No,
You're like, Your Honor, I obviously need treatment after hearing this.
The only reason you said that is because you don't want to do the jail time.
No, that's
not.
You're like, no, Your Honor, you can't tell me that I don't have my best interests in mind and then hold me to my mind. Okay? We know I haven't been doing well, Your Honor. You can't take my word for it. You're the professional here. Go back to the treatment you initially offered.
Ma'am, I'll do treatment.
Quite frankly, ma'am, with your lengthy warrant status and you're absconding from probation, I'm not sure that you would not abscond from your treatment provider.
She's like, Your Honor, I don't even know what abscond means.
Ma'am, I can't do 130 days.
Yeah, you said you didn't need treatment.
I do.
The problem was, when I went to sheriff, people over.
I need help with housing when I get out of here. I'm gonna need.
I'm sorry?
I need help with housing when I leave here.
Well, look, here's the cool thing about prison. They're going to help you with housing while you're there.
I have my...
Get 3 free meals a day, too.
I need that talking in the background to please stop.
Somebody...
My court recorders indicated our record is a mess because of all the talking in the background.
You're like, Your Honor, my meth daddy is guiding me through this.
I mean, she's in jail right there. So it's somebody either in the room that she's in or in the courtroom down below. I think somebody's talking like when they shouldn't be.
I really don't. I think I need treatment instead.
Ma'am, you were very clear. You've been to treatment 7 times and you don't need treatment anymore.
No, I do.
You know how to work the program.
No, I got a little ahead.
She's like, no, Your Honor, that was the lack of treatment that made me say I don't need treatment.
I first came in.
I need treatment.
because I do have a girl.
And then her fucking lawyer. Yeah.
He's back like, just shut the fuck up.
Potentially, Judge, I know that potentially she might be asking for some sort of mental health treatment, but I understand this docket does need to be moved along. So if necessary, we have to have the matter recalled later in the morning to potentially have it reevaluated. But I understand the docket does need to move along, Your Honor.
Kavis says, Billy, you think you could fix her? For one, I don't fix women. I take broken glass and make beautiful art. And two, I need a woman beyond fixing. I need someone so beautifully messed up that we'll burn the world together. I don't fix women. It ain't my job. Any man who thinks he can ain't the fixing type.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Bolchak, I'm not ordering treatment for you at this point because you stated that you don't need treatment and you only asked for it so that you didn't have to do jail time. Given that and the fact that you had absconded from probation with this court, the court is concerned that you're not going to abscond from treatment. So at this point, 138 days is what you're going to serve, ma'am.
But the word consecutively was there, and I think she's saying 138.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
So there's some consecutive there then. Because 90 plus 60 plus 93 plus 60 is 153 plus 18 be 168, right? Have a good day. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Here's a montage of Jordan Peterson crying.
While saying essentially.
It isn't painful. You know, well, I shouldn't do anything then, you know. The most fundamental reality is pain. Yes. Is there anything more fundamental than pain? Love. And I have my tendency to feel a hell of a lot more sorry for a set of confused, isolated, and lonely pubescent girls who have no one to love them enough to help them appreciate who they are.
I didn't realize he was such an emotional guy. I really don't consume a lot of his content, but I did not realize that he has cried publicly multiple times.
I don't think he was emotional until he started getting public press back and he wasn't able to talk himself out of it. When he was Jordan Peterson college professors kind of never have to deal with emotion because they're talking to people. When he started having to talk back with people and people were pressing him and he's had his whole life of studying and academics and none of that mattered when people were like, you're just kind of being a dickhead. And he's like, wait a second. I too have feelings. Like, well, no. We weren't talking about feelings when you said that women wear lipsticks because of lobsters, okay? Well, you were trying to use logic this entire time to push the fact that you don't want to say he or she when you address somebody of a gender they were born differently from. You wanted to use logic then. Now you want to turn to feeling because you see how powerful feeling was. All these people that felt like you were being a dickhead broke you. Now you want to go to feeling. That's the problem I have with Jordan Peterson. I don't care if he hates any group of people. I hate all sorts of people myself. Some hatred, very unjust. But when you want to go from being a logical man to a feeling man, that's when we have a problem.
Marginalized, we're supposed to have a voice. Really? If you're in pain, love and truth, that's what you got. And, you know, than I do for one overprivileged and unfortunately confused narcissistic Hollywood star.
I will not recognize Elliot Page. I fapped way too many times to Juno.
Oh God, you know.
If I were to recognize Elliot Page, I'd be admitting that all those masturbatory Juno viewings made me a homosexual man.
You have no idea how many people that's killing. We also
we're also seeing if we enjoy it. And I'm happy to be here doing something like this with her. It's a real privilege. It goes back to, you know, having children. A close reading of 20th century history indicates, as nothing else can, the horrors that accompany loss of faith in the idea.
I never seen this man cry once until after his daughter was caught canoodling with Andrew Tate. Just saying.
Of the individual.
The perspective he helped usher in to lead us into the Hustle University era of Andrew Tate and his womanizing led directly to his daughter canoodling with Andrew Tate.
You have no idea. I see people everywhere, all over the world. They're so demoralized, especially young people with a conscience, because they've been told since they were little that there's nothing to them but corruption and power. It's like, how the hell do you
Goose Juice says, nah, Jordan was whacking it to whip it. Okay. Juno is a tale about a young woman getting pregnant, played by Elliot Page, great actor. A young woman getting pregnant. That is a very masculine, feminine thing to fap to. Whip It is about a woman roller derby, okay? That's masculine energy action. Before Elliot Page became Elliot Page, if you were jerking it to Ellen Page in Whip It, you were gay.
Act. It is only the individual, after all, who suffers. The group does not suffer. If they're more powerful than pain, maybe they're the most real things. Even in the revelation of their triumph, the initial depth of their despair. So I wouldn't change that. But it's not nothing.
I love seeing somebody have feelings.
It's interesting. I had no idea
it's beautiful.
It's certainly not just happiness. It's better than happiness, but it's almost unbearable. Well,
Mr. Driscoll says he wanted to live the hard candy life. Nobody should be masturbating to hard candy.
What's up with his hair here?
He looks like him and Cobra ate the same 3-day-old Wendy's burger.
Yeah.
I think, you really want to know what I think? I think it's revenge against God for the crime of being. That's really what
against God.
It's Cain and Cain and Abel. It's like, oh, Abel's your guy.
It's Cain? Why is he wearing a suit?
How about if I take him out in the field and beat him to death?
Ooh.
How do you feel about that?
Elliot Page is such a good actor, he became famous playing female characters.
True. So
My
true.
sacrifices went unrewarded. Yeah. It's like,
we're $100 away from 50%. If anyone wants to help us out with a tip train so we can go into Saturday's show at 50%, we'd really appreciate it. Also, tomorrow we're doing Actual Mania. Do you want to shoot for another 420 pre-show?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. Roger Wilco says, what's hard candy? Will I get in trouble Googling it? You won't get in trouble Googling it. Hard Candy is a movie starring Elliot Page as an underage girl who has a guy, I can't remember who plays the guy, very famous actor. He tries to have sex with Elliot Page, and Elliot Page, as an underage girl, turns it on him and tortures him, and spoiler, doesn't end well. You should not be fapping to that movie.
That's what it is, at the bottom of the hell of things. I suppose, too, this has been enhanced by my ill health in recent years, but I always feel that it's a privilege to spend time with my children.
Oh, that's how you know it was something Andrew Tate did to his daughter, dude. You know it was. The way he's talking about his children and crying. because he knows if he would have never had this meaty, meteoric. I wanted to say mediocre.
Mediocre rise.
I was like, no, it's not mediocre. Say meteoric, Billy. Say this meteoric rise to fame. His daughter never would have been in the same class as Andrew Tate, and she never would have been put through Hustler University by the Tate brothers.
Only those who compose it.
Disappointing porn says his son unalived himself. Is that true?
That's the reality of the individual.
If his son did that, then I understand more about his crying than I did 10 seconds ago.
Is to be regarded seriously.
Never mind. All his crying is fully
there can be no
acceptable.
motivation to reduce suffering, and therefore no respite. Instead, the production of individual suffering can and has.
I like his lecture about Bret the Hitman Hart that he did. He did a whole he did a lecture at the university that he worked at, and he talked about Bret Hart. It was kind of interesting.
Bret Hart's a
And
Canadian
will be again
hero.
rationalized and justified for its supposed benefits for the future. And the
Roger
group.
Wilco says he's allowed to cry then, but does he really have to record it? I mean, he doesn't have to record it. And I will not allow him to use feelings in a conversation when he built his career on logic, but I will still allow him to cry. Fuck. Losing a son or losing a child is heartbreaking. I don't think I'd ever stop crying internally. That's the most horrible thing. And also on top of that, knowing your daughter canoodled with Andrew Tate, that's just all bad. I know why he's crying.
And I have some sense of how fast time goes. You know, I've always had a very acute sense of the finitude of existence. And so,
Seth looks as if he was a real man, he would bottle this shit up and squash it down. Of course. We all would. But we know even real men are crying on the inside. The only time I've ever cried was the Guardians of the Galaxy movie #2, when Dave Bautista was looking out in the sunset, and Mantis, who is an empath, can feel people's feelings, puts her hand on Batista's body and has the most overwhelming sorrow and sadness feeling from touching Batista when he's just looking off in the sunset, because he's a real man that lost his children and holds the sadness in, partially because of space autism. But that I saw that in the theater and I just bawled, because I was a real man that was never able to show my feelings until I saw another real man not show his.
and this is a good hint for people who have children, but with regards to your family members.
Here's the Bret Hart thing.
We could take questions for like 10 minutes and then we'll...
I can tell you how this goes. He goes, when Bret Hart lost the world championship to Shawn Michaels, I cried like a baby. I was terribly sad. He was the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
And you can ask me a question about anything you want.
This goes back a bit to the beginning of the lecture, but how does morality go from who's stronger and who's weaker to what's good and what isn't?
Well, I think it depends to some degree on what you mean by stronger. So physical strength is one element. And like if you look at mythological heroes, imagine that the stories of heroes are fragmented.
Does he have Pinocchio up on the screen behind him?
Elements of the archetype. And so one kind of archetypal hero, obviously, is someone who's physically strong. You know, you see that. There's a great movie that you could watch about this. It's called Hitman Hart. It's one of the best documentaries I've ever seen, and it's about this guy named Bret Hart.
Wrestling with Shadows.
And Bret Hart was, for a while, the most famous Canadian on the planet. And he was a Worldwide Wrestling Foundation, I think. What is it?
Federation.
WWF? Yeah. He was their, like, lead good guy. And so wrestling, I loved the documentary, because when I was a little kid, like 4 or 5, I used to watch his father, whose name was Stu Hart, who ran this channel, this wrestling
Confederation in Alberta. And Stu Hart had, I think, 8 boys, and he trained all of them to be pro wrestlers. And part of the movie is
I
extraordinarily
never thought
funny
I'd ever hear
because Stu Hart
Jordan
is in it.
Peterson
He's
talk
really
about
old.
this.
He's like 85, and he's just barely, can you imagine? He was like a pro wrestler for 40 years. Like every joint is broken. And he's still big, but he's just barely moving. And this kid and another kid come over, and Stu is telling the story about how he used to take his boys into the basement and toughen them up. And I think Brett called that the journey to pain or something like that. His father would take all these kids down there and wrestle with them and push them right to the edge of their pain tolerance constantly. And anyways, they grew up tough. There's no doubt about that. And all his daughters married pro wrestlers too, and I think he had 7 daughters. So he's quite the character. Anyways, these 2 kids, they're late adolescence, early adulthood, come over.
I love seeing Jordan Peterson excited about something other than trans theory.
Yeah.
One of them's pretty damn cocky, and he's listening to Stu, and he says something smart like, well, you know, you were pretty tough with the old days, hey? And Stu looks at him and says, well, why don't you come down to the basement with me? And he says, well, look, I don't want to hurt you, old man. And so the filmmakers follow them into the basement, eh? And like they're kind of standing there, and the old guy grabs him in a headlock and takes him he's like a snake, eh? He's got him in a headlock.
He's like a snake, eh?
Like so fast, and the kid doesn't know what to do. And then, so Stu, like, who knows how to put a headlock on someone, he's like flexing his forearm, yeah, which is like still not so bad a forearm. And he's got this guy's face is just, he's like he's stepped in a bear trap. Plus he's absolutely shocked that this old guy got him. And so he's kind of gasping. And Stu says something like, you watch, if I flex this muscle just right, you can see this vein on his forehead start to pop out. It's extraordinarily funny. Anyways, Bret Hart plays out the good guy archetype. And Bret's, like, he's a solid guy, but I would say he's not particularly sophisticated, and I'm not being cruel about that. I mean, he had a great career, and he's tough as a boot, and so good for him.
And it's so Canadian, the way he speaks.
He's tough as a boot. That's actually a boot being a boot, not about.
Yeah. It's strange.
But he plays out this good guy archetype, and he gets tangled up in it. And now, I don't remember your damn question, but I am trying to answer it. Tell me the question again.
So I was wondering how...
He just got too excited about Bret the
Hitman Hart. He was marking out for pro wrestling. That's the one thing about pro wrestling. If you give it an honest chance, it'll get you no matter what type of person you are. It pulls people in. If you go in without any sort of preconceived barrier, it's gonna suck you in. It plays to the human essential storytelling, the action, the prestige. It's all there. It's very basic. But if you're not going in there with your pretentious barriers up, it's gonna get you.
You go from who's strongest and who's weakest to what's good and what isn't.
Oh yes,
Holy
okay.
Shit. He reverts to sounding like the Mackenzie brothers from Great White North when he gets excited talking about wrestling.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, so one of the things I really liked about this movie was it showed me why people watched wrestling, and I couldn't because certainly they're not appealing, and I'm not being. There are different strata of conception of abstraction that any entertainment process has to appeal to, and most people don't go to movies, and that's actually because movies operate at a level of sophistication that is too high for many people. Just like novels. I mean, hardly anyone reads, and if you, about 15% of the population, might be 20%, cannot read well enough to follow written instructions. And so, and people who are, maybe it's 15% of the population or 10%, have never finished a book, never. And so, and it is that high. But the archetype still needs to manifest itself at different levels, and so it manifests itself in wrestling. But even there, where it is physical force, it's not just physical force. Like, it's a drama between good and evil. And you can see this so clearly in the Bret Hart documentary, because he's the good guy, and the bad guys are really over the top bad. It's a real drama. It's like, it's good versus evil in the ring every time. And hopefully good wins, but good often gets...
Did he just say no one goes to movies because they're too complicated? He didn't say no one goes to movies because they're too complicated. He said movies are too complicated for a lot of society. A lot of society doesn't go to movies because even movies are too complicated to follow. And I got to tell you, that is very true to a circle of our society. That it's you. They can't sit for an hour and a half. They can't sit for 2 hours. They can't focus.
Yeah.
Maybe the bad wrestler brings 2 of his friends in and they bring in chairs and
Like
they
I
bash
gotta say this. I gotta say this right now, and I don't want you fucking assholes watching to get dick hard about this. But most people can't sit through a 3 hour podcast. Okay, the fact that you've been doing it for years, okay, means you are in the upper echelon of sophistication. This will be the last time I acknowledge that because you're all so far beneath me that I still will look down upon you. But I wouldn't even look down upon you if you weren't up here close to me, okay? I'm saying you're like dogs to me. Everything else is ants. And I love dogs. So take it.
the
Love
hell
it.
out of the good guy.
boys.
And the whole audience is just outraged by this. And the documentary does a lovely job of showing that. But so even at the level of physical combat, let's say, you can't reduce what's good to what's strong. It's just one element of it. Better to be strong than to be weak. And so you can have a strong hero because it's better to be strong than to be weak. But it's better to be strong and kind than to be strong. And it's better to be strong and kind and wise than to be strong and kind. And so, and that's true not only for human beings, but it's even true, let's say, at the wolf or the chimpanzee level, because one of the things you see with the chimp dominance hierarchies, and I think I mentioned this before, is if the leader, the dominant male, is really good at fostering social relations and being reciprocal in acts like grooming, and also paying attention to the females and their offspring, his dynasty will be much more stable. And so strong might be good for one battle, it might be good for 2 battles, but for 50 battles, it's not optimized. Especially because no matter how strong you are, someone can take you out. So what happens is, the idea of what's ideal becomes increasingly complex across time, multifaceted, right? And so strength, wisdom, intelligence, vision, all these things are amalgamated into a single being. And we'll talk a lot about that because I want to show you how that happened in Mesopotamia, because that's one of the first places where we have documentation about how that ideal emerged. They have a god called Marduk, and Marduk had 50 names. And as far as I can tell, the reason for that was that Marduk was an amalgam of the tribal deities of at least 50 tribes. And when the tribes were brought together and civilized, each of their gods who were ideals had to be amalgamated into something that was a single.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer he talks about Bret Hart.
It's abstracted out.
When it comes to strength's biggest value in societal security is being conquered by those that you fear, because fear usually is how most people remain in a society. They're afraid not to be a part of the group. They're afraid maybe of the leader, but they're afraid of what the other people will do. So the leader has to do something terribly brutal and defeat strength so that you know the leader is capable, not because they're strong, because they are sick and sadistic. And that's why all of our leaders drink fucking adrenochrome, go to Epstein Island. All of our leaders are sick and sadistic because that's what it takes to keep us feeling like we're safe. And we sacrifice a few along the way. That's how it's always been. The Aztecs used to do it out publicly. Now we do it privately. That's just how society continues to work.
Across instances.
Yeah, let's do something else. I saw T-Bob in the chat earlier. I think here's another.
He was arguing about Pringles and the price of Pringles going up.
Oh damn!
He said 7 years ago you can get a can of Pringles for 75 cents. Now they're $2. He says he darn near spent $3.50 on an extended can of Pringles. He says something's real wrong.
Look, baby, Trunster Bob is here. I ain't going nowhere. I do got grievances with the state of Texas I am going to address. I do have a woman, African Queen Goddess, who is black. Very black. She's black. She's African. Doesn't get any more black than that, does it?
I don't know.
And I've been hit on by the most gorgeous fucking women that are black on the fucking planet. Y'all seen that one chick come on the live stream? Her boobs were so fucking huge.
Boobs.
She was drunk that night. That was great, wasn't it? When she fell down and got up, fell down again.
Wasn't that great when
And
she
she
was
got
too
up.
drunk to function and I had her over at my house? Wasn't that great? I love it when a woman's too drunk to function, can't even consent, and she's back at my place. That's what I brag about when I brag about being with women.
After that, she's okay for the rest of the day. She cleaned that fucking mess up. It's a miracle she didn't cut herself on a fucking glass that broke. And you want to know the secret behind her? She wasn't even that interested in sex.
Was it because she was drunk? Bob, are you sussy right now?
He
Are you
always
maybe
is.
Are you maybe actually admitting to something terrible right now?
Because she's been there and had sex. So fucking much sex that she doesn't really give a fuck about sex.
Many of the women that I know of that have had a lot of sex had it because they liked it. But they've still had more sex than they wanted to.
Looking at my penis and judging the size and all of that. She
A
admitted
woman
to
who is judging if a woman starts judging your penis, she no longer consents. If a woman is doing anything other than taking that penis into her personal care, she is no longer consenting. I don't care. Yes or no longer matters at that point. That's non-consensual.
that I look perfect for her. The right perfect fucking size. That if I was sitting on a couch and she wanted to fuck, she would automatically bend over and, suck my fucking dick up. Bing, 2 seconds. Okay, let's go. What are you? Oh God, this right? And she would jump up there and ride my fucking ass. She would ride my stiff fucking cock, right?
Right.
And you've seen that woman. I'm not gonna mention names. If you've been following me, you know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea who he's talking about.
At the end of the day,
country woman from this reality says, I'm sorry, Billy, but every woman judges every penis and about 80% tell their friends about it. Yeah, of course. But not while they're being introduced to the sexual experience. If a woman has the time to judge your penis while you're going to be having sex with her, she is not consenting at that point. I'm like, you shouldn't consent either. This is not up for a judgment circle. This isn't the Olympics. This is my penis and your body. If you start judging it before it goes into your body, you're not going to have any of it. These are standards we need to have as men.
you don't see me sleeping with all of them fucking women. Got women here come back up to me occasionally. What the
And of course, I
fuck?
mean, negative judgment. Good judgment is fine, countrywoman from this reality. Good judgment, obviously. If she sees it and she's giving a quality appraisal, that's consent. Basically, depending on how they react to your penis is the true consent. If you get anything other than overwhelming hurrah, it's not consensual. You need an overwhelming hurrah.
But for some reason, I turn this chick on, man. Like, she looks at me and she's like, you actually kind of get me aroused, Bob. I go from aroused to jacking off to a fucking nut. And then she goes back around, keeps running this fucking circle.
Take a big swig.
I had a woman just like her that contacted me. The only difference is
contacted him. I wonder what he means.
Or several different
Catfish online, never met.
Well, with both of them, I could videotape everything. But with the one I just told you about, it would be a little bit less. She would worry about, I think, a little bit. But I still, it's okay if you want to videotape. Go ahead, fuck it. The other one I meet, she's like, oh, I don't give a fuck. I just want to fuck you, Bob. I'm willing to do.
I do like the way he delivers the words. He has got just he's eloquent.
He's a
that
wordsmith.
redneck eloquence. It's great.
I've had women like that with breasts, closer to her size than the small hanging boobs, like the
boobs.
big, oh my God, fucking boob category. Seems to be the women that I hit it off with the most. Now, I used to wonder, everybody does this. You do this, everybody does it. Watch what I'm fixing to tell you and explain to you. In her mind, I'm perfect sex for her. I got the perfect size dick for this black goddess. That dick there would do her for the rest of her fucking life.
There you go. That's forever dick right there.
She wants to get with me, meet me. She's going to bring up those topics.
Those topics.
It comes down to what I'm willing to do to what she's willing to do. You dig?
You dig?
You dig? It comes down to what I'm willing to do and what she's willing to do.
Yeah.
He just described consent. Marimo says sex is way too important to this man. Whoa, 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 whoa. He's a simple man. He drinks Keystones. He gets pissed off when they raise the price of Pringles.
He's a simple country sicko.
Sex is going to be important to him. What do you place above sex, right? I place a lot of things above sex, but that's because I'm a fucking weirdo. I like Magic the Gathering cards.
I'm getting a story about the whole Vince McMahon thing. NBC News published a story about it, so we'll check that out.
Yeah. I didn't get to look too deeply into it. People were bringing up, they were like, fuck Vince McMahon, fuck John Laurinaitis, fuck Brock Lesnar, and fuck Chris Jericho. And I was searching through to see what Chris Jericho did, and I couldn't even find that. So I don't know if it'll come up in this story. Probably not. This will probably just be a base level Vince McMahon pooped on a girl's head. Maybe they might even say that.
They probably won't say that.
All the news reports were using the word defecated. And then I looked in the comments and someone was like, how do you continue having sex with somebody for an hour and a half after pooping on their head? And I was like, what? I need to know more. Tell me more.
That is.
And then someone, I was reading the comments, someone replied with, look, pooping is a kink. We're not kink shaming though. This isn't about the poop kink. This is about power and somebody doing something so disgraceful to somebody out of power. This is a power imbalance. We're not kink shaming. I'm like, yeah, no, we're not kink shaming. We're talking about Vince McMahon pooping on a girl's head.
Yeah, it's interesting if that's true. By the way, we got a dono, but it didn't come through, I think. Let's see, can I play it? It didn't move the goal either, did it?
What the heck, man?
We just got like a $65 dono. Do you see it?
I have to pull up the Streamlabs.
Because this didn't the goal didn't move, did it?
I
Okay,
donated
there it
to the
is.
wrong
There it is.
Streamlabs,
There we go.
But here's more anyway.
Oh, you donated to the wrong. Why are people? Did you put the wrong link in? 2 people now have donated to your other show instead of this one.
Did I? Oh, I
don't know.
did. I did. Oh
There
my
you go.
God. I'm
You wanna
so
add
sorry.
that- you want to add that to this goal since they're donating?
I guess
to the other show.
Yeah,
this
yeah. My bad. My bad. Let me look it up.
That's at least 2 people that have said that. I think Zap Rosedauer also.
That
did a
was
$5.
completely my bad.
Yeah,
I
great
had
way
my-
to get more money though. If I wouldn't have caught you,
I mean, I don't want to do that. I don't want to.
I
do
know.
that.
I'm teasing. I know it was an accident.
Yeah.
I'm not serious.
Yeah, and I can add it all together. Let me fix the link. That was my
Yeah.
bad. I saw someone mention it. I'm like, why did they use that? I had no idea.
When Zap Rosedauer said that earlier, I assumed maybe it was a mistake they had made. Maybe had it open from your other stream. But then when Brian Chan said it, I'm like,
my brain
wait a
is on
second.
my brain is on autopilot sometimes when I'm setting up the show, and I was just like,
yeah.
I was signed into my other Streamlabs account.
I was going to ask you if you think they're donating to your other Streamlabs account. Was you said it wasn't coming up here, and I figured you were seeing it somewhere other than here. But then Brian answered it with another $65 donation.
Hey, I'm not gonna complain. Know what I'm saying? But yeah, let me look this up because that's
Just saying any donos made to your other channel within the last 2 hours should maybe be sent over to the old DP. Maybe.
Yeah. I'll do the math really quick here. Let me pull up the. Oh, it's being slow for the download. But yeah, let me go into my other Streamlabs here, and we'll get this updated. Oh shit!
Zap Rosedauer said, "I donated this as a TTS donor to the Bent by channel by accident about Sturgis, and didn't follow up with what they donated."
I'll look at it.
I know his grammar and speech is bad, but cut him some slack. After all, he has to breathe and click the mouse at the same time. It takes a lot of brain power for him.
Bud.
Zach Rosedauer says, I really wish someone would trick him into talking to you guys live. I really do wish Sturgis would talk to us live. I would have a conversation with Sturgis and not even accuse him or debate him or anything. I just want to talk to him.
I'm going to read these. So, thoughts sent in. I'm sorry, but those sunglasses are the worst thing Jared has ever done. Zap Rosedauer, I know his grammar and speech is bad. You just read that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Zap Rosedauer, my, how the turntables, Eric July. I guess he said that instead of how the tables have turned. And then Brian Chan said, Bob has a perfect penis. Can it shoot lasers? So I need to add $82 to the goal that we're on now.
That puts us up to $502.
502. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I will fix that.
Well, everybody watching right here, right now, while Ben's fixing that, the real question that Brian Chan asked on the other account, you consider laser shooting from a penis to be perfect? I think that would be an imperfection.
Yeah, because
maybe I'm old fashioned.
Well, you'd have to wear like you know how Cyclops has his special glasses. You'd have to wear like a condom like that, made out of that material constantly.
You'd have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you'd just be blasting, and that's not good.
Yeah.
That's murder. Red Cyclops condom. That is a great answer though. The red Cyclops condom could fix everything. Now, did you pin the new link in the chat?
Yes.
Okay.
And the new goal is up now.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, not only do we break that 50% mark, we did it without noticing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my bad. My apologies, but we're very close now. I feel good that we went back and read all of them and made the goal
with
right
everybody except Thought. And if Thought's still watching, if Thought hasn't quit watching the show after donating and not getting a response, which I hope they didn't, everybody except Thought continue to donate on the other channel. So I think the apologies don't need to be made at all, because everybody gave more money because of the mistake. If anything, we should be thanking you, Ben.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Abe Traits makes a good point. He didn't say the lasers were deadly. What if the penis shot out hair removal lasers? How great would that be? Would that be the perfect penis?
It goes back to pubes. It goes back to the whole pube thing again. So
you were going in, if you were going in with your laser peen and it just, as it's going in, it blasts all the pubes off. Would that be a good or a bad thing?
Here's the Vince McMahon thing.
Tonight, one of the biggest names in professional wrestling facing stunning new accusations, including sex trafficking over several years. A former employee accusing WWE founder and former CEO Vince McMahon of physical and emotional abuse, sexual assault, and trafficking at WWE. In the lawsuit, Janelle Grant, who worked there up until March 2022, says McMahon texted her, quote, "I'm the only one who owns you and controls who I want to expletive you." Grant's claims include sexual acts involving defecation, restraint, and aggressive use of sex toys. And that
oh my God, I heard on one of them, I don't know if they're going to say this here. If they do, needs to be said though. Supposedly he had sex toys that he named after his wrestlers.
Oh my God.
And
here's Mankind.
I don't know what they were, but he named them after his wrestlers and he used them so aggressively. I guess she was bleeding at times.
Forced her to have sex with him and other men at the WWE headquarters in return for job security. The new lawsuit seeks to annul a non-disclosure agreement from 2022 settled between Grant and McMahon, where she would receive $3 million. Grant says she stopped receiving payments after an initial $1 million payout.
If, as alleged, McMahon stopped making those payments, she might have a breach of contract claim. But that's not what she's really alleging in the complaint. She's alleging violations of federal human trafficking law.
In a statement, Vince McMahon's spokesperson says this lawsuit is replete with lies, obscene, made-up instances that never occurred, and a vindictive
Would
distortion.
the Mankind sex toy be the mandible claw hand?
It's Mankind's manhood, pal.
Oh no.
Of the truth, he will vigorously defend himself. Last year, McMahon, who has not been criminally charged, spoke to CNBC in broad terms about his overall legacy.
Let me just say that I've made mistakes, obviously, both personally and
He looks like Clark Gable.
professionally through my 50-year career.
He looks like a villain.
Yeah.
Like he was like, hey, I'm about to sell WWF. I'm just going to go full villain.
Yep.
Fuck it.
One of them, and then moved on.
The explosive lawsuit and graphic allegations come at a critical time for the WWE. Just this week, McMahon was at the New York Stock Exchange celebrating
Now,
their
Mr. Driscoll in the chat, you're probably joking when you say these women were asking for it. There is a nuance to this where sometimes these women were asking for it, and still, because of your position of power, you should probably and maybe even legally say no. That's suggesting that she was into all the really abusive stuff. Because some of the stuff he's saying, people say that in kink communities. It's a very common thing to say that to somebody in a kink community. But when you have a position of power and her job is being weighed against it, at some point, no matter if she's actually asking for it in a consensual way, because one of these things I read the word consensual used for the sex, well, it was consensual sex, and that might have been from her lawyer as well. But even consensually, when you're in a position of power and you have a job and you can fire her if she says no, even if she's asking for it, you have to say no.
Consensual, wee bud.
newest board member,
Consensual,
Dwayne "The
bud.
Rock" Johnson. Also, Netflix just acquiring
Last man says
WWE's
pores can't consent. No, pores can consent, but if somebody is paying you money and possibly putting your job on the line, if you don't say yes, it no longer becomes cool.
Streaming rights
or maybe
worth
legal.
billions of dollars. But now, all eyes on the WWE, who the plaintiff's attorney says they will hold accountable, claiming they turned a blind eye to the abuse and then swept it under the rug.
And Tom, WWE's parent company is responding to this tonight.
That's right, Lester. The parent company is called TKO, and they tell NBC News Mr. McMahon does not control TKO, nor does he oversee the day-to-day operations of WWE. While this matter predates our TKO executive team's tenure at the company, we take Ms. Grant's horrific allegations very seriously and are addressing this matter internally. Lester?
Thanks for watching. Stay
Now this
updated
comes
about
after was this the day after they went public with TKO, the joint merger between WWE and UFC. The company's called TKO now. I know The Rock was ringing the bell at Wall Street, I believe, this week.
I've had TKO stock ever since the merger was official. Like, I had WWE stock, and as soon as it went through, it switched to TKO.
Well, they recently had The Rock and a Triple H.
Yeah, when they
and
opened
everybody.
when they opened the stock market.
They were doing that this week, right? And this comes out after that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at their price. Let's see if it's gone down at all. That'd be funny if it went up. No, it did go down. Not very much, though. It shouldn't, but anything can make a stock go down. So.
And it will go back up most likely. Because even though Brock Lesnar was named having been offered this woman in order to re-sign her, and everybody's saying they hate Brock Lesnar now, the Royal Rumble's this weekend, and if he comes out, everybody's going to be talking about it.
Yeah.
Can you even fire Brock Lesnar? Like, is that possible?
Yeah.
If he wants to show up, won't he just show up? Nobody can stop him.
I don't know. There's certain ways to stop him.
Like the way women feel around men, how they're intimidated by imposing men, is how men feel around Brock Lesnar. No one could stop him.
You can stop him with a gun.
I probably could. I'm a good shot, but I'd probably have to empty the whole clip.
Yeah. So I think we are going to wrap this one up, and we're going to be live at 4:20 p.m. Pacific tomorrow. We'll be here on the channel doing a little pre-show before we go private and do Actual Mania. You should sign up.
Yeah.
Because this is going to showcase the talents of over 20 Actual Maniacs. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see everyone's reaction to some of these surprises that are coming around the corner.
Yeah. These big group efforts are always a lot of fun. It's not like other Actual Manias. You sit down from beginning to end, and it's a roller coaster. It's like a movie. Everybody kind of ties in with everybody. It's got its own unique feel. If you've caught an Actual Mania before, but you haven't caught a Regal Tussle Rumble style event, then you haven't seen what's coming tomorrow. And you should put your $5 down and check it out. Because at worst, you're out $5. At best, you want to donate more money to us because it was worth way more than $5. I'm calling it right now. Tomorrow's going to be worth way more than $5.
It is. I've seen a lot of the videos, and it definitely is. So sign up, patreon.com/DP. We'll be doing it tomorrow. And yeah, we're gonna wrap up this one. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a good one.
In the beginning, there was nothing, and then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your... Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants.